Hi, I'm Jocelyn. I'm here today to talk about a type of letting agency or that in London called Spacelet.net. I've had quite bad experience with them in terms of lack of customer service and unresponsiveness, and the fact that they are a company that don't really understand the urgency of their customers' situation when people come to them for help about looking for studios there. So I had to move from my former place. I had roughly a month, maybe, yeah, around a month at the time. And online, I found these ads for nice studios around London, relatively cheap, but they looked really presentable. And I found it on various websites. And one of them I emailed asking about, is this available for a viewing? And then they sent me back an email saying it was through Spacelet and that I had to contact them. Um, so then there was a link to their website. So I went on their website and I found out that, oh no, actually I did find out where their office was. So and it was like sort of a little bit like down it was in central London, and it was a bit it was not easy to find, but it was a small office somewhere, and I went there, and it seemed like they were a bit annoyed that I came because, as if because I hadn't scheduled a meeting, but I thought this is a legit business, that helps people find a flat. So I went there and she sat there, oh yeah, we can help you find a flat. We have deals with landlords directly. So what it is that you pay a fee up front with us, and then we put you in contact with these landlords. And we get the studios cheaper because we have a sort of deal with the landlords or something like that. So they basically they want you to pay the £80, and then they set you up with the landlords directly. So it's you have to fill in a few things on their website, which I found out later, to what criteria you're looking for, like what areas you're looking for a place, what your budget is, and so on. Anyway, I went away and thought I would think about it, but it seemed like a really good deal because it's very difficult to find affordable studios in London. So, so I tried to do a little bit of my own, but then I decided let me go for it. Actually, I mentioned it to a friend, and she was like, "No, when I was looking for a place, I used them, and they did not help me at all. Don't do it." But at the same time, I'm thinking, oh, they're advertising all these places. They have a really nice website, and I'm sure if some of these flats are free, they look so nice. Let me try, like see if I can, yeah, get a really good studio. So in the end, I decided to sign up, and and they said that. So basically, what you do is that you pay the fee online when you sign up, and you give them all your details, and then they just basically handle everything via email or text. So you send them an email every day saying when you are on a daily basis, you have to tell them that you're available to see a flat. And then they will send you a confirmation, but in the confirmation it does say that if you don't hear from us later today, if you don't get a text about a landlord with a flat, then it's because we haven't found anything this on this particular day for you. So in the end, I there was one day where I sent them an email. I, I started using it as soon as I'd signed up. That week, I wanted to use it because I don't have a lot of time. I have to move within a month or three weeks a month. So it was about just getting started. So there was one where the next day I sent them an email saying I'm available, and then they sent me to a place where I looked at the studio, the quality wasn't very good. He showed me another place which wasn't so good either. So I thought, okay, that's just the first day, that's fine. So the next day, I sent them an email. Or the next time I was available, I sent them an email about that, and it was never acknowledged, the email. And then I was like, okay. So I think the day after, I was like, I emailed you about being available, and you didn't acknowledge. You didn't send me anything back. Then they claimed they had a bug in their PC system that day, so they couldn't email. Um, so then I was like, okay, that's fine, but how come you never send an email out afterwards to your client saying, sorry that we couldn't. Apparently, they don't have the resources for that. So they're a small company, blah blah blah. Um, Coincidentally, they have the resources to send out Christmas greetings because I just received a Christmas greeting from them. So it's a little bit about priorities, I guess. So then I was starting to be quite suspicious because then the next time they sent me a text saying, okay, here's contact this landlord, and arrange a time when you're available. So I phoned up the landlord, and he gave me the address, and I had his phone number, so that was supposed to go the same night. When I was texting him on my way because I was running a little bit late, and there was no response from him. So anyway, okay, so I get there. It's very, very dark. It's winter time, so on, and I couldn't. I lost my way, so I was trying to phone him and text him saying, I'm not sure where it is. Could you maybe help direct me, or you know nothing at all. So no response. So the next day, I emailed them telling them this. Like, can you just please? I was like, I can't. This landlord didn't. I'm really unhappy. This landlord made me walk around getting lost somewhere and not. What is this? And then I also said, um, and then I complained a little bit about the thing when they had that bug, that they couldn't, um, and at least inform people. Sorry, we weren't able to help you that day. There was a bug. I had to find out by myself. Like, and then I also felt like, what happened at this point? Yes, I kept asking about this one particular flat that I saw on this various websites where they were advertising. I kept asking in every single email, is this one available? And they never even addressed that. So I'm saying, I'm asking you for the third time, is this one available? And when she did reply again, nothing about that flat. And I just felt, in the end, after that happened, I was like, I'm really, really upset. There's only a week in. I would like to cancel this thing, and I would love to get a refund if I can. It's not even a week at this point because when you pay that 80 fees, they're supposed to help you for 3 months find somewhere. So anyway, she said, I'm sorry, we can't give you a refund because we have no refund policy, and da 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 da, and not really addressing the things that I was very concerned about, not really apologizing about any of those. Um, so I was just like, and then I decided, okay, let me give them one last chance. So this particular agent I was emailing with, her name was Claire. She she told me, when are you available again? And I was like, well, I'm available on the weekend. Because at this point, we're getting further and further, closer to the time I need to move. And then she's like, well, normally they don't do on weekends, but let me see what I can find. And then she sent me out to this place on a Sunday, and it was horrible. Like, this studio was like, first of all, he wanted £800 a month for this place, and it was basically like a garage that had a tiny little toilet it was a toilet and a shower cubicle in one or something, which was really, like, there was hardly any space. The kitchen was like a microwave with a hob on top of it. That was the kitchen. And then, and then there was this bed, and it was just dirty and horrible, like, and I was like, I can't believe this. So in the end, I emailed them after that Sunday. I was so mad because, like, how are they saying, how do they not even check what landlords are dealing with and what these landlords want for their studios. And it was nothing like any of those photos on their websites. None of them showed a place like this, So I was like, this feels like a scam. It feels like, people are super vulnerable when they're looking for a place to live. They have very little time. It's very stressful, so for them to just, not like really help people make excuses about why they're unavailable at certain times. And it's like, it feels like, what are you paying £80 for? I get it if this fee was small, £30, something like that, but it's still ATP, it's still significant. I mean, £80 is still significant. So it's to me, I feel like they should either change their refund policy, or they should, like, have a smaller fee or something, because it's not acceptable, like how.
Where are you at with these folks at Spacelet.net? Are you done with them? Like, what's going on right now between you and them?
Nothing, because the last few emails I've sent to them, they haven't acknowledged. Nothing. And technically, I think my 3 months period hasn't expired yet. So the fact that they're not even replying to any emails is super unprofessional. At least something like, oh, we have received your email. We're sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing, just absolutely nothing. Which I feel like, if they're a small company and they're trying to make it, then they should go above and beyond for their customers, because that's the only way that they'll get a good reputation and and build up yeah. But so to me, it feels like they're scamming people, a little bit, like, because they're not. And like my friend, when I told her I was going to get interviewed with you about this place, she's like, oh well, let me know if they want to talk to me too. Because obviously she lost £80 at that time. Now at least I'm trying to report them, and so, because I can't, this shouldn't happen to more people. And do you know how many people are looking for places in London? How many? I'm sure that there's thousands who probably ended up like me and my friend, just losing out on £80.
Now, Jocelyn, let me ask you this, and I know it might be a little bit of an unpleasant feeling about this, but you told me so much about these folks. But there ought to be, because, as I'm talking to you, I see that you're a very calm, very collected, very easygoing, very positive person. And yet, there must have been a trigger that made you just say, you know what, this is it. I'm
Yeah.
going to report this company somewhere. If we take everything that they did, the bad customer service, the lies, the misrepresentations, just the way they behaved, everything, what would you say upsets you the most about the whole situation?
I think what upsets me the most, it is the probably the customer service part, because, or the lack of communication, because it's it, they're supposed to help you. They're supposed to, you're not just handing them £80, and we're supposed to be, as the customers, grateful for that, because maybe there'll be a studio around the corner that we're lucky enough that looks sort of decent, or I don't. I feel like that's the part that really is the trigger for me. That I used to work in retail, I've worked in customer services, so I know how important it is to communicate with your customers, because it means everything. If at least they were a bit more apologetic, if at least they had tried more, but they were so defensive, and then again, like I said, just won't acknowledge me and the issues that I've had with them. Yeah, I think that's the.
Now, Jocelyn, how did you find these folks? And did you consider anybody else when you were looking for the apartment besides them?
I mean, there are because I actually prefer to have had a studio. Where I've moved now, it's studio-ish, but not exactly. I'm still sharing a kitchen and a bathroom in the end, but my hopes have been I'd had my own studio, so that I had a bit more privacy, so in the end, because I had such short time, something else happened, where a landlord was sort of stringing me along. But in the end, I went through a website called Spare Rooms, which is quite good if you're looking for. They sometimes also advertise for studios, but mainly rooms in shared accommodation, and through them I was able to go for different viewings and finally find this place. So So, and I found Spacelet was, yeah, it was online. I found them. I think I saw their ads first time on Gumtree. Um, and then you sort of found out that they had their own website later on. So.